Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things personal finance. In this week's video, I'm going to show you how to calculate your gross income. If you stay till the end of the video, I'll also show you my favorite free online calculator that will do all of the calculations for you. So, if you're ready, let's get started. The first thing that you need to know is that gross income is your total income before taxes and other deductions have been taken out. It's basically your total earnings from all sources of income, which we'll go over in just a moment. Now, there are many different types of income, and I've actually created an entire video that talks about all of the different types of income that you can earn. But today, we're just going to be focusing on the most common types of income, which are earned income, investment income, and business income. Earned income is basically any income from a job or a business. This is probably going to make up the largest portion of your income. So if you have a full-time job, then your earned income is going to be your salary from that job. Or if you have a side hustle or a small business, then your earned income is going to be the profit from that business. If you have any investments, then you may also receive investment income. Investment income is basically any income that you receive from owning investments such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or ETFs. For example, if you own shares of Apple stock and Apple pays a dividend, then that dividend is considered investment income. Finally, there is business income, and as the name implies, this is income that you receive from owning a business. Now, this can include profits from a sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, or corporation. So now that you understand what types of income you may have, we can move on to the actual calculation of your gross income. The calculation itself is fairly simple. You just add up all of your income from all sources, and that gives you your gross income. For example, let's say that you have a salary of $50,000 from your job, $2,000 from dividends, and $3,000 from your side hustle. Now, it's important to note that this is just an example, and your numbers will be different. Also, this is your gross income before any deductions have been taken out. So once your taxes and other deductions have been taken out, you'll end up with your net income, which is what you actually take home. I'll put the formula for calculating net income on the screen right now, but I have also created a separate video that explains how to calculate net income, so check out the links below if you want to learn more. As promised, I wanted to share with you my favorite online calculator that will do all of the calculations for you. I've actually tried quite a few different calculators, but in my opinion, this one is by far the best. The website that has the calculator is called nerdwallet.com, and you can find the calculator by searching for "What is my gross income" on Google. Once you get to the website, you'll see the calculator here on the left side. Now, this calculator does more than just calculate your gross income. It also calculates your net income and your take-home pay. But today, we're going to be focusing on gross income. So to use the calculator, all you have to do is enter the relevant information. So for earned income, you'll enter your annual salary. If you receive a commission, then you'll enter that here as well. If you have an investment income, then you'll enter that here. And finally, if you have a business income, then you'll enter that here as well. Once you've entered all of your income, you can click on Calculate Gross Income, and the calculator will do the rest. As you can see, the calculator also provides a detailed breakdown of your income, which can be very helpful. When looking at the breakdown, you can see that your gross income is made up of your earned income, investment income, and business income. As we discussed earlier, these are the three main types of income. And now that you've calculated your gross income, you may be wondering what you should do with it. Well, the first thing that I always recommend people do is to create a budget. A budget is basically a plan for how you're going to spend your money. Creating a budget can help you track your expenses, make sure that you're saving enough money, and ultimately help you achieve your financial goals. There are many different ways to create a budget, and I've actually created a separate video that talks about how to create a budget. Another thing that you can do with your gross income is to calculate your tax liability. Your tax liability is basically the amount of taxes that you owe. Calculating your tax liability can help you estimate your tax bill and make sure that you're setting aside enough money to pay your taxes. The IRS has a number of different tools that can help you calculate your tax liability. Check out the links below if you want to learn more. Finally, you can also use your gross income to calculate your net income. As I mentioned earlier, your net income is what you actually take home after taxes and other deductions have been taken out. Calculating your net income can help you figure out how much money you have left over each month to spend or save. Again, I have a separate video that talks about how to calculate your net income, so check out the links below if you want to learn more. In addition to using your gross income to create a budget, calculate your tax liability, and calculate your net income, you can also use it for a number of other purposes. For example, if you're applying for a loan or a credit card, lenders will often look at your gross income to determine how much debt you can afford to repay. In addition, if you're trying to figure out how much money you need to save for retirement, your gross income is an important factor to consider. As you can see, your gross income is an important number that can be used for a variety of different purposes. That's why I think it's so important to be able to calculate your gross income accurately. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned how to calculate your gross income. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I create new videos every single week covering a variety of personal finance topics. Also, if you know someone who could benefit from learning how to calculate their gross income, then please share this video with them. I think they'll find it helpful. Finally, if you have any questions, then please leave them in the comments below. I do my best to answer all of the questions that I get. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.